1963 gold, Johnny Symbol, Mr. Bassman. That kicks off my last night beat in the Big VN. Right on.
American Forces Radio.
Gary Glitter, number 7 this week from the Stateside Survey. Gonna go rock and roll. Part 2, 8 minutes after 6 o'clock from the Big VN. Army Specialist Dan Vandermeer doing it to you for the last time. Going rock and roll. Gary Glitter, number 7 sound this week. Say good evening to Bob Meyer and Ken Couch. How you guys doing, right? Right, joining us in 11 minutes after 6 o'clock just for you.
Okay, buddy, stick 'em up.
Yeah, I beg your pardon?
Hand over your dough and make it snappy.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, but all my cash is tied up in the USSDP.
What's that?
The Uniformed Services Savings Deposit Program. Each month, I deposit that portion of my pay I won't spend. And get this, my savings earn 10% interest.
10%?
Compounded quarterly.
Hey, that's more than I'm making in this racket. How do I get some?
See your personal affairs or finance officer. Getting an allotment is your first step in getting started.
Gee, thanks. Well, I'll see you later.
Say, I wonder who that masked feller was.
I don't know.
American Forces Radio.
Dionne Warwick sings out A Message to Michael. He sent us one out to Tien this evening. Good buddy of mine. From the Saigon PMO's office, it's 6:15. This is Bobby Vinton, Sealed with a Kiss.
Though we gotta say goodbye.
Big sound for Bobby Vinton, Sealed with a Kiss.
Sealed with a kiss.
18 minutes after 6 o'clock from the Big VN.
American Forces Radio. Continuous music.
Nights in White Satin. The Moody Blues, number 22 this week. Goes out to Moy from John to Lynn and Kim.
Nights in white satin.
Number 22 sound of the Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin. 22 minutes after 6 o'clock on the Big VN. Here's a reminder that all personnel booked on flight F2A4 departing from Camp Alpha at 0900 hours on the 13th are reminded that this flight has been canceled. For information concerning booking changes, contact the Tri-Service ATCO office in Tonsanute at these numbers, 924-4345 or 924-4328. Those numbers again, 924-4345 or 924-4328.
American Forces Radio. Remember.
Sound of Dick and Dee Dee, Memory Makers, When You're Young and in Love. 25 minutes after 6 o'clock from the Big VN as we're doing it to you on a Tuesday evening. Oh, Mac Davis got the number 5 sound this week from the Stateside Survey. Oh, I have to say it to all the chicks, too. Baby, don't get hooked on me.
Girl, you're getting that look in your eyes. Baby, don't get hooked on me. Baby, baby, don't get hooked on me.
Baby, don't get hooked on me, Mac Davis. 28 minutes after 6 o'clock from the Big VN as we're doing it for you on a Tuesday evening. If you've got a request and you'd like to hear it on a Night Beat program, just drop us a line in care of Night Beat, AFVN, APO and Country, 96309. Somebody will play that record for you. I don't know who it is yet. I don't know who's going to be doing the show tomorrow, but it won't be me. Gonna send this out to Captain Wallace. Talking Green Beret, new Super Yellow Hydraulic Banana, Teeny Bopper Blues.
Talking Green Beret, new Super Yellow Hydraulic Banana, Teeny Bopper Blues. Dedicated to people listening to AM radio.
This is the American Forces Vietnam Network, where the hits just keep on coming.
A thousand hands help.
Big sound for Gene Pitney. Backstage. Say good evening to Sergeant Yinger and Sergeant Idleman of 760th MPs. A couple of good buddies of mine sat in with many shows for me. Gene Pitney continues with $1 Million Sounds for you on a Night Beat. On a Tuesday evening, Army Specialist Dan Vandermeer.
Live on the west side, she lives on...
Because as a child, he found his father leaving a nickel under his pillow. Newton Snookers, a student of dentistry, secretly devotes his life to giving coins to those whose teeth fall out of their mouths.
Tuesday, 8:20 a.m. I prepare to leave for the office by bidding farewell to Gladys Cramp, my housekeeper. I'm going now, Gladys.
Are you going now, Mr. Snookers?
Yes, I am. I ate all my cereal.
Did you eat all your cereal?
Yes, I did. By the way, that was the last of the cereal. I'll pick up...
You know, that was the last of the cereal, Mr. Snookers. Would you pick up another box?
Right, I'll pick up another
Now, which cereal are you going to buy?
The usual one, I guess. Why?
Oh, now, could I ask a small favor of you?
Sure.
Would you buy double whammies?
Double whammies?
Well, they're the ones with the giant cutout pictures on the back of our country's famous insects.
Insects?
Yes, you know, they glow in the dark and everything.
Oh, okay,
I need the box with the big giant cricket.
All right.
Oh, thank you, sir.
See you later.
Mr. Snookers?
Yes?
Would you make it the big giant cockroach instead?
Right.
Pardon me, sir. Is this a stop where we get the bus for the lampshade factory?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank you. Mrs. Morton and me are visiting your fine city for the first time.
Oh, very nice.
And what religious sect are you of, sir?
What?
We could not help notice your very beautiful costume.
Oh, well, this is my Tooth Fairy suit.
Tooth Fairy?
Yes.
And what do you call your organization?
Organization?
Well, yes, when your people get together.
Oh, we call ourselves Tooth Rangers, Tooth Rangers.
Tooth Rangers.
Right.
There are many strange religious sects in this city, I understand.
What's that?
I was speaking to Mrs. Morton.
Oh.
And does the giant cockroach play some role in your religion, sir? On the box.
Oh, no, this is for my breakfast. Well, this is my bus. Enjoy your visit.
Thank you. Well, Mother, today we met a tooth ranger.
Yes. I wonder what they have for supper.
American Forces Radio, remember.
Era's coming. Era's coming.
Sound of Eli's Coming, 1969 gold, 17 minutes until 7 o'clock from the Big VN. Army Specialist Dan Vandermeer doing my last night beat in the Big VN. And I want to thank you all for helping my tour go by very rapidly, for sure. The Cookies coming back, solid gold, 1965. Don't say nothing bad about my baby.
He's true to me. So girl, you better shut your mouth.
Don't say nothing bad about my baby. That's That's Big Sound of the Cookies. I want to say hello to John LeMay tonight. John says I never say anything about him. Say hi to Jim Haney, too. Boy, if I got some stories I could tell you about him. 15 minutes till 7 o'clock from the Big VN.
American Forces Radio. Music.
Let's take it back into the past. The sound of the Statler Brothers. Oh, the sun ain't gonna shine anymore. If you've been around Saigon, you know it too, baby. It's swim down Tronang Dao. Send this one out to John. The rest of the guys.
American Forces Radio.
Let's take a look at the flicks tonight. Tatsadoo Theater number 1, it's The Great White Hope with James Earl Jones and Jane Alexander. Tatsadoo Theater number 2, Fiddler on the Roof with Topol Norma Crane. At the McVie compound, it's Woody Allen and Louise Lasser starring in Bananas. The McVie Annex features the Hellstrom Chronicle, its documentary. At Benoit, The Gang That Couldn't Shoot Straight with Jerry Orbach and Lee Taylor Young. At Canto, it's The Todd Killings with Robert F. Lyons, Jim Haney, and Richard Thomas. At Long Bin, it's Scars of Dracula with Christopher Lee and Jenny Handley. Tonight, Theater number 1, it's The Godfather with Marlon Brando and Al Pacino. And Dirty Dingus McGee, starring Frank Sinatra and George Kennedy, is being featured at Danang Theater number 2. That's a movie scheduled for Tuesday, 12th of September, 1972. Big Sound, Leslie Gore, 1963 gold. It's My Party. 8 minutes until 7 o'clock. News at 7. Air Force Sergeant Mike Cum has 5 minutes of news. Hour number 2 of Night Beat kicks off about 7:05. So we've got everything just for you. Speaking of Mike Cum, this is his record, too. Number 19 sound this week from the Stateside Survey. Group calls themselves Argent. Gotta hold your head up. Pterodactyl and the Dinosaurs take us closer to news time. Brand new record called the Seaside Shuffle. 5 minutes till 7 o'clock from the Big VN. We stick it in your ear, getting our shift together.
It's a warm day, the sun is shining. Someone say, let's go to Brighton. So we all get off on our friend's club. Hold on tight.
That's going to do it up for hour number 1 of a Night Beat for you on a Tuesday evening. I'm Army Specialist Dan Vandermyde, and I can say we've got one more hour to go, and I mean that literally. I'm supposed to rub it in, actually. Hot butter, popcorn's going to take us up to news time. Air Force Sergeant Mike Cum, 5 minutes of news at 7. I'll be back at 7:05 when I do my last and final and all that sort of thing. Hour in the Big VN of a Night Beat.
This is the American Forces Vietnam Network.
If your DROS is at hand, will you be ready for it? You won't be if you haven't closed your checking account. You'll need canceled checks, bank statements, checkbook, and unused checks to close your account. And most military bank facilities require 4 days' notice to close the account. Plan ahead.
News every hour on the hour, compiled from major commercial and military news sources.
It's 1900 hours. In the top of the news, a young GI is in Army custody in Saigon after he allegedly forced 3 American soldiers to drive him from his base at Long Binh to the capital. The Army says 20-year-old Private Lawrence Tanner was captured after an exchange of gunfire near an Army hospital outside Tan Son Nhut Air Base. One security officer was reported slightly wounded. Military officials say Tanner, who comes from Orange, Texas, was armed with an M16 rifle and a pistol. His hostages were a lieutenant and 2 enlisted men. Tanner is assigned to a helicopter unit. The 3 main Protestant militant groups in Northern Ireland vow to fight any political settlement that doesn't return power to the Protestant majority. Banding together as the United Loyalist Front, the alliance leaders say they will use their forces as they deem necessary. The ULF is expected to flex its muscles at a rally in September 30th. That's a few days after a conference of Protestant and Roman Catholic moderates. The European Summit meeting in Rome today dealt with the issue of terrorism and currency upheavals. The foreign ministers of the West European nations plan to discuss a West German proposal for joint security against sabotage, hijackings, and terrorist violence in Europe. Meanwhile, the respective finance ministers are reported near agreement of a European Monetary Fund. This would be the forerunner of a Central European Bank, and the 10 countries are the 6 common market members and 4 others due to join the market on January 1st. Virgin Islands police squads are continuing a close search of the rainforest of St. Croix for 5 fugitives charged in the killing of 8 persons at a golf club last week. 2 persons are already in custody, and bench warrants for the fugitives were issued Sunday night. And government sources say about 15,000 leaflets have been prepared for distribution throughout the territory with information about the wanted men. President Nixon mapped political strategy at a breakfast session today with his cabinet and GOP congressional leaders. Officially, the topic is pending legislation, but it is widely suspected Nixon is about to campaign against a Democratic Congress and to make it a Republican and Nixon Congress in November. Senator Edward Kennedy has joined George McGovern for a busy 3 days of campaigning through the populous Northeast. The Democratic nominee and Kennedy put in a 16-hour day today, hitting rallies in Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. The two will spend tomorrow and Thursday in Philadelphia, Albany, New York City, and Waterbury, Connecticut. Kennedy made his debut with the McGovern campaign before 11,000 Minneapolis residents last night. An aide said Kennedy will campaign each weekend for congressional and gubernatorial candidates and is leaving the last 2 weeks of the campaign free to help the presidential ticket. The Democrats tried again today to amend their civil damages suits against the Republicans over last June's burglary, an alleged snooping attempt at party headquarters. The changes would add GOP fundraiser and former Commerce Secretary Morris Stans to the list of defendants. The amended complaint was rejected by a federal court clerk yesterday for technical deficiency. Senate Democratic leader Mike Mansfield predicts final passage today of the nearly $35 billion revenue sharing bill. 6 days of debate have included some bitter fights over the formula for allocating aid to the states. The bigger urbanized states yesterday lost a last-ditch effort to get a bigger piece of the federal pie. The Senate also voted to retain a ceiling on state social service programs for welfare recipients and potential relievers. Retired Air Force General John Lavelle took the stand again today in the Senate probe of unauthorized airstrikes. He is accused of ordering against North Vietnam early this year. Armed Services Committee Chairman John Stennis quoted Lavelle as telling the committee yesterday he never knowingly disobeyed orders and feels he has done nothing wrong. In other news, a federal court in San Francisco has thrown out part of the New York Bank Secrecy Act. It said the government cannot require banks to produce microfilm records of a depositor's account without going to court. And General Motors Corporation is recalling 37,000 Cadillacs to find 5,000 defective left rear axle shafts. The cars involved were produced late in the 1972 model year. And finally in the news, a $15 mantle clock was the official timepiece for more than 1,000 pupils and teachers as a new $6 million high school opened in Fairmont, Minnesota Monday. Teachers synchronized their watches with the clock, which was brought from the home by Principal C.H. Hedgedill because the school's clocks, Bell's had intercom system, hadn't been installed yet. And that's AFVN News to the Hour. Air Force Sergeant Mike Cum reporting.
News every hour on the hour, compiled from major commercial and military news sources.
Bringing you the music.
Army Specialist Dan Vandermyde with Night Beat.
American Forces Radio.
Which way you going, Billy? I'd have nothing to show, if you should go.
Susie Jackson, the Poppy Family. Which way you going, William?
I'd have nothing to show.
8 minutes after 7 o'clock as we do it to you, hour number 2 of a Night Beat for a Tuesday evening from the Big VN.
American Forces Radio. Sound of music.
Big solid gold sound of Percy's Sledge. When a man loves a woman, yeah. Cutter, hold me, thrill me, kiss me. That's a proposition, sweetheart. Take me up on it. Ronnie Dove, 14 minutes after 7 o'clock from the Big VN. Got a little bit of heaven in my heart.
Got a little bit of heaven.
Memory Maker from Ronnie Dove. Got a little bit of heaven. It's 17 minutes after 7 o'clock as we continue on with some good solid gold music for you.
American Forces Radio remembers
something you couldn't hide on a shelf. But to me, they no longer have to explain, because I know for myself. He awakened to capture forever that sweet darling thing. That's how it is when a boy falls in love.
When a boy falls in love.
Oh, that's how it is.
You're the sun, the sand, the surf, your girl, and you. Sound nice? You can have it all if you go to Hawaii on your R&R. Be in Honolulu as it comes alive. Spend your days exploring this lush, tropical paradise. When it comes time to think about R&R, think Hawaii. This is Barbara Lewis, Solid Gold.
Baby, I'm yours. Baby, I'm yours. And I'll be yours until the...
Oh, baby, I'm yours. Barbara Lewis, Big Solid Gold Sound. That record from 1965 as we keep them coming to you.
American Forces Radio, remember.
Sound of the token, Solid Gold. The Lion sleeps tonight, 24 minutes after 7 o'clock from the Big VN. I got a reminder for you guys, if I can find it here. And the flight number is F2A4. It's been changed. It's supposed to leave tomorrow, but it's been canceled. So those of you personnel that were supposed to depart on flight F2A4, 0900 hours tomorrow morning, you're reminded this flight has been canceled. For information concerning booking changes, contact the Tri-Service ATCO office. That's at Tonsanute Air Base, and it's at this number, 924-4345 or 924-4328. Contact either one of those numbers, wrap on the phone to somebody, find out what happened to your flight, where it went, or who stole it, or something like that. Maybe it was hijacked, I don't know. Jake and the Americans, all about Sunday and me.
Her eyes would make an angel smile. fuller Sunday.
American Forces Radio. Music. First the
Vietnam Network, where the hits just keep on coming.
The 72 presidential election is drawing near, as is the need for detailed information on absentee voting. A system has been established to aid voting officers in giving you the information pertinent to the situation of voting in your state. The Military Audubon Network has set up a voting action line, whereby voting officers can call the states and receive assistance on information on registration and ballot request procedures, special assistance involving coordination within the individual states, and assistance of unit voting representatives regarding materials needed. Instant service is available during normal duty hours, and after duty hours, an answering service will record the call and answer it the next day, either by phone or by airmail letter. Ignorance of voting procedures is no longer a valid excuse for not bothering to vote absentee. If you have an important question regarding voting in your home state, get in touch with a voting officer for your unit. Now, if you have a question he has no answer for, he can call someone who does.
It's a warm day, the sun is
That's my boss, Army Sergeant Bob Nelson.
There's a man in the funny papers we all know. He's too much. Ride, Daddy, ride. Hi, yo, dinosaur.
Bill Deal and the Rondells, and it's too late. Back-to-back music's the name of the thing that's going on a night beat for you on a Tuesday evening. Army Specialist Dan Vandermine in Saigon, 18 minutes until 8 o'clock with the bells from Canada.
Into my room he creeps.
stay with you.
I guess I'm gonna stay.
Ain't even no way I'd make you go home, honey. That sound of the bells from Canada, it's called Stay a While. One more time, a reminder, all personnel booked on Flight F2A4, departing from Camp Alpha at 0900 hours on the 13th of September, are reminded that this flight has been canceled. For information concerning booking changes, contact the Tri-Service ATCO office in Tonsanute at these numbers, 924-4345 or 924-4328. Those numbers one more time, 924-4345 or 924-4328. This is Gene Chandler.
So
from 1962. As we do it to you, it's called About the Duke of Earl. News is coming up at 8 o'clock. That'll be with Air Force Sergeant Mike Cobb. Right on. This is Jimmy Cliff, 1970 gold. All about that place where we're at right now. Little ditty tune called Vietnam, yeah. This goes out to John LeMay from the Sugar Pops platoon of the Navy Security. That's where they say it's happening. Vietnam, Jimmy Cliff. Yeah. Gonna send one out to Sergeant Smolik, Sergeant Loftus, Specialist Winders, BFC Hart, Specialist Metzner, Specialist Hernandez, and anybody else over to Saigon PMO. Sound of Freddie Hart. This goes out to you guys from Jim Haney and from me. Yeah, you bunch of guys. Whole bunch of easy loving. So until next time, take it easy, may God bless, and have a real good tour. Get home as soon as you can.